Hi, welcome back to a brand new video snippet from Deadly Affirmations. Today we're going to finish up chapter 17. And once again, here's the commercial. Look for the link underneath this post and you can purchase a copy of Deadly Affirmations in ebook or paperback for yourself or for loved ones. It's a good way to spend the self-imposed isolation. I'm just saying. But if you'd rather listen to me read it to you, I'm happy to do that too. There you go. Okay, back to Patience Murphy and her adventures. Here we go. After her successful invention, Patience was a little wired and decided that this was a good time to try a little bud of Alice in Wonderland that her friend Cinderella had given her. Alice in Wonderland, according to the wackytabacky website, is a mostly sativa strain that provides the user with an excellent sensory experience, especially good for creative pastimes, outdoor activities, or daytime stress relief. Alice in Wonderland has also proven to be therapeutic, especially for those suffering from anxiety or depression. Patience put the little bud in her glass pipe and took a couple of hits. Excellent sensory experience, huh? Damn, she thought. Creative pastimes and stress relief? And walked over to get the little box of toys out of her dresser. That's where she kept her little spray bottle of Isabel Fay, water-based, gluten-free, and made in America, and her faithful WeVibe, along with its handy little remote control, and where Patience hid what she had found in her grandmother's house, along with some other interesting things, when she cleaned out the house after Granny had died. Ramon Navarro, a film star who had begun his career in silent films but who had made the transition to talkies. He was the original Ben-Hur and Hollywood's Latin lover after the death of Rudolph Valentino. After he was murdered in 1968, when two men broke into his house in Laurel Canyon and shoved a lead dildo, a gift from Valentino, down his throat, Navarro choked on his own blood and died, and the two men got away with $5,000 for a week or two. They were convicted and died in San Quentin gas chamber in the 1970s. Granny was dating an LAPD cop at the time of Navarro's murder. The murder was a huge scandal. Rumors of the murder weapon spread like wildfire through the LA film community. Granny's boyfriend heard about the weapon and had borrowed it from the evidence locker. Patience didn't want to think about Granny and her boyfriend trying out the original, but her boyfriend had an exact copy of the lead dildo made out of heavy glass by a friend who worked at the Steuben lead crystal factory. Granny dumped the boyfriend soon after that, but kept her big buddy wrapped in a swatch of royal blue charmeuse silk, embroidered with silver and red and gold dragons. Patience had never used it, but now, with Alice's help, Patience thought that she might give it a try. Detective Williams had spent the afternoon. He had worked straight through lunch consisting of a Sprite and a stale Snickers bar from the station vending machines, in the lab with the forensics guys, finding out that while there were latent prints on the corkscrew, they were little more than partials of partials, and when the guys had run what they had through the FBI's database, the Integrated Automated Fingerprint Identification System, or IAEFS, of 53 million files. After 3 hours, the best they could do was a 4-point match between the latents and 1,489 records on file, none of which were for anyone within 200 miles of River City. Detective Williams left the station at 4, went home, and took a nap. At 7, he woke up and dragged himself into the kitchen, opened the refrigerator door, and pulled out 2 40-ounce bottles of Pabst Blue Ribbon. He took them, one in each hand, into the living room, turned on the idiot box, set one bottle on the coffee table in front of the sofa, and opened the other one, chugging half the bottle before putting himself and the bottle onto the couch. He reached for the remote, searching for something to watch. There were 10 channels of news, all saying the same things about the same people at the same time. Some reruns of college sports from colleges that obviously should not have had any sports programs. A few kids' channels showing poorly animated, uplifting, sensitive cartoons, not any slapstick in the bunch, and some movie channels. Williams punched through the movie channels, and after he had tried to get through 10 minutes of the Hoboken Housewives and some porn that he couldn't figure out, he settled for a police academy marathon. He thought briefly about eating his gun, but then decided on Cheetos instead, taking a big swig of the beer before heading into the kitchen for sustenance. A minute later, he returned to the couch with a big bag of the cheesy puffs, 2 little cans of Armour Vienna sausages, and a half-used bottle of Frank's hot sauce. Dinner was served. By the time time the patient was experimenting with Alice and her big buddy, Detective Williams was asleep on the couch, just about to lose his grip on the almost empty PBR bottle he had been holding when he fell asleep. Television on, shoes off, belt loosened, pants undone, and his fingers a strange shade of orange.